Hi there, welcome to VCC Music. My name is Laurence Mollerup and I'm the Department Leader for Music at VCC. Today I'm going to be interviewing Max Ley, who's a recent graduate of our program and alumni, and it's great to see you, Max. Hi.
Hey, Lawrence. Good to see you too, man. Really good to
Are
see
you,
you.
are you out in your backyard? It looks like a really nice green background there.
It's a beautiful day. It's my front porch. My cat and I tend to spend most of our days these days out here reading books or playing with my practice pad, or it's about my usual days these days.
It sounds idyllic to me. What's your cat's name, by the way?
Penny Lane, Penny Lane.
I love it. You've
Yeah,
got a bit of the Paul McCartney Wings era with the beard and everything going
I
on.
definitely am. I've got, the hair, the beard's just really filling out nicely right now. So, yeah, it's probably my favorite era of Paul's look, to be totally honest. So I'm kind of rocking him these days.
That's excellent. Yeah, it's really great to see you, Max. And maybe you can remind me what year you graduated from the college.
I graduated in 2016, starting in 2012. I got my diploma and the degree done in my 4 years.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And when you were at the college, I know you played for me in several of my bands. And the one that stands out for me is when we had the Snarky Puppy Ensemble, what we called the Ground Up Band.
Oh,
And you and Chris Salas Lyons were the drummers at that point.
yeah. That was still to this day. I mean, when people ask me like what my some of my favorite memories about being a musician or being a student, that year was incredible. I mean, I got introduced to the wonderful music of Snarky Puppy. It really taught me how to you know learn music and be proactive, be very professional at a very high level, especially with some of that stuff was pretty darn tough. So yeah, and then at the end of the year when the guys came and hung out, that was absolutely life changing. And I remember, I think I texted you this when I was in Winnipeg for the Indigenous Peoples Day celebration that I was playing, where I ran into Spot and Nate from Snarky Puppy, and they were there with Ghost Note, and getting to see them years later, and they recognized me, they knew who I was, and they gave me big hugs, and I thanked them for everything that they had done and that incredible experience. And yeah, it was completely life-changing.
It
Years
was
later, still life-changing.
it was such a wonderful day when Michael League and the band came and hung out with us. And I'll do a little shout out to Travis Nelson, who made that all happen. He was also an alumni of
Yeah,
the college and a great drummer locally. And he was really the impetus for getting that one through and making it happen. So that was really excellent.
yeah, big thanks to Travis. It was
Yeah,
one of the most important days of my musical life.
that's so fantastic. So what else did you do at the college? Did you study with both drum teachers?
Yeah, so I started out with Craig, the wonderful Craig Scott, for my first 2 years, and then I had Bernie Arai for my last two. So I studied with them, and yeah, I got a really amazing breadth of knowledge from both, from Tony Williams transcriptions with Craig, and doing the Seven Steps to Heaven solo. I still steal licks from that solo to this day. um, and then Bernie, like Bernie and I would just be talking about ride cymbals, or just doing quarters on ride cymbals for half an hour, right? And like
Yeah.
it was pretty important stuff. Bernie really changed my perspective a lot on time, really.
And you've been continuing to study since you graduated, and I know one of your mentors is someone you've gotten to work with recently and driven down to visit. So maybe you'd like to talk about Dave Illich as well.
Yeah, Dave, man, that was yeah, that was a pretty important moment for me when I wanted, as I had sort of mentioned to you before, I had wanted to uh, pursue studying with some of these sort of big heroes of mine. And Dave, I've always really loved his teaching approach, his attitude. Um, he's kind of no BS, right? He's very upfront, and I really appreciated that. So I got in touch with him and took 2 weeks off and drove down to LA in 3 days, and and got a lesson. It was unbelievable. There was, for me, with my understanding and my relationship with the drum set and with percussion in general, there's a before Dave and there's an after Dave. And there's, since then, I was lucky enough, back in February, I was down in Los Angeles with some family. And so I got to study with him again. So 2 lessons in, and yeah, he kicked my butt and gave me great wisdom and advice. He got me meditating, doing mindfulness meditation, which has been another incredible thing for my life and my mental health. And yeah, I'm a big advocate of it. It's incredible.
That must come in really handy in times of stress like this as well.
Oh, hugely. I meditate for 10 minutes every morning, and I'm now able, especially before all this was happening, when I was having gigs, when gigs were still happening, but I was having moments where I could sit down at the drum set, and not only has Dave really fixed my posture, fixed sort of my overall body awareness, but being able to sit down at the kit, take a moment, take a breath, and then just come to the music fresh and mindful with intent. It's unbelievable the change it's made for me in my playing.
Yeah, that ability to focus in and to be fully present in music is that's what the whole ball game is, isn't it?
Completely. And yeah, I mean, there's so much that Dave really opened my eyes to, and but yeah, body awareness and mindfulness, 2 of the big ones for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love his shirt that says, "Slow down,
yeah,
do it again."
Yeah.
Slow down, do it again. That's it.
And he definitely rocks it. He was wearing that shirt definitely for one of the lessons.
Yeah, I mean that's a great tip for any musician on the instrument. So, what kind of? I was going to segue to a question about what kind of music do you play, Max, and how are you? What's your career like? I know you mentioned Red Haven is one of the bands you play with, and I've heard Sister Says, but I should let you fill in some of those bands.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Red Haven and Sister Says have been 2 of my biggest projects, and in terms of busyness and touring. Yeah, I've toured across BC and Alberta quite a bit with Red Haven, going into the prairies with Sister Says a lot. No Island, one of my little heart projects. I was lucky enough after my first year at VCC, I got to tour across Canada with No Island, which was an incredible experience. But yeah, my career now, I mean, if you had told me 3 years ago what my career would look like these days, I would not believe you, especially the fact I'm playing so much children's music. And yeah, being involved with a Beatles children's band for a couple of years, and then playing with the amazing Will Strout of Will's Jams. This past winter, we were in China for 2.5, 3 weeks, touring around and doing shows and English songwriting workshops there. And that was an incredible experience. But also it's all over the place. Like, I help run a monthly hip hop jam open mic, which has been a wonderful, wonderful experience with some good friends, my partner. And that's been super enjoyable. A space elevator, jazz metal big band of 20 people, 2 drummers, way too loud, but God, it's so fun.
That's excellent.
But yeah, I find I get a lot of joy in being able to find my art in a lot of different music, a lot of different people's art. I'm doing, I've got a session next month for a blues artist, which is going to be really fun. But I've done sessions for trad jazz and for heavy rockers, and funk, and yeah, it's fun. It's
you
my
cast
favorite
a wide
part.
net, then.
Pardon me?
You cast a wide net.
Yeah, exactly, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
I love it. No, that's so great, Max.
Yeah.
So I really just thought I'd check in with you today, and it's been great to chat and connect with you again. I think this community building process is so healthy for all of us. And just want to wish you the best from everybody at VCC. And keep up the good work, Max. We miss you. And come by and visit. You can visit safely this summer if you're around
Awesome.
from 10 feet away and say hello.
Gladly.
And so I'm sure things will open up in the next while as BC recovers, and we'll probably, by the time this is airing even, we'll have hopefully an even brighter future ahead of us. So thank
Amen.
you so much for checking in with me, Max, and I wish you all the best.
It's my pleasure, Laurence. Thanks so much.